Alright, this is my first video. I'm gonna put this on YouTube. Always wanted to do this, so got this camera, started recording some stuff that I've been doing. So this one, the trim and tilt hydraulic ram right there is leaking, just busted on the side. So got some used ones from eBay, and yeah, that one's busted. The case is busted. Usually you could replace those or whatever, but with that one busted, I just bought a whole new one. So right here, just kind of trying to see what's up. So the new one comes with the Outrive all the way down, and since that ram was busted, I kind of had to help it go to the all the way down position. So it's all the way down, and you kind of see it's lined up. Everything's cool. Go. I got a wrench. Start wrenching that bolt off. I think it's a 5/8. Yeah, it's usually 5/8. But yeah, it's really not too hard. There's gonna be some other things in this video though, like right there. See, I use a one of those flare nut wrenches for those hydraulic fittings. See right here, like this is where it was really tight. Alright, sorry, I'm showing my ass right there, but that shit was really tight. This is what you deal with. Some of the stuff you deal with as a boat mech, just corrosion, and I think it was like kind of stuck on there. I sprayed some PB blaster on it. Just, let it soak for a little bit, and see, I'm still fighting it right there. I can't remember. Yeah. So I never got that one off at the ram. I ended up just getting it off right there at the bell housing, the transom mount, gimbal housing, bell housing, whatever you want to call it. So I took it off right there. Just took the hoses off to the ram right there because I couldn't get that fitting off going into the ram. It was just really corroded. And that's the one that's busted. So, that might have been part of the issue. There's a lot of corrosion in there. So this is a pre-alpha Mercruiser. And yeah, so it's old. Once it's pre-alpha, you kind of know it's 70s, 80s. I don't know. I think they came out the alphas in like the 90s. So it's a pre-alpha. So I use my gun, my 5/8. Take that rod off. Sometimes you gotta get a little. Use a rubber mallet. Always use a rubber mallet. You don't want to use a metal one. You start jacking some stuff up. And I'm still working on my editing skills, but that's how it is. Some washer, inside washer, outside washer, 2 bushings. Those ones are obviously messed up, but it's pretty straightforward. I mean, not too bad at all. And I take that same thing on the other side, 5/8 with the gun and the wrench. There you go. Pull that hydraulic ram out, and then this is the fitting that didn't want to come off. Just corrosion. It's probably the original one. Been on there for fucking 30, 40 years, whatever. So didn't want to come off. It was basically just, you'll see here pretty soon. It was just a lot of corrosion, a lot of just some nasty shit. So I'm over there just fighting it. It's still fighting it. This freaking thing. So this is what it is. Just be prepared when you work on some old shit, some old marine shit, some old boats. I busted a torch out right there, torching that shit, heating up, and I think that did the trick right there. So yeah, after you heat it up for a little while, just kind of go back and forth. I got my flare nut wrench. Use a flare nut wrench for these ones, especially if it's super tight. I got on the vise right there. I kind of put some styrofoam type stuff around it. I mean, the ram was junk anyways, so it doesn't really matter. But I don't know. I guess I just wasn't trying to scratch it. But with the ram junk like that, it really doesn't matter. I got on the vise. I got cheater bar, heated up, then busted out the cheater bar, and finally it started going. But I mean, you'll kind of see here in a second because the new ram, the ram that I got didn't come with the hoses, so I had to reuse these hoses, these hydraulic hoses. So that's why, I mean, if it came with hoses, then I wouldn't even be fighting this thing trying to get these hoses off. But got the hoses off finally. I gotta put a big old cheater bar on there for a little freaking 3/8 freaking fitting, but I'm pretty sure that those are the original ones. So they're friggin', 40 years old or 30 years old, fucking, older than me. But I think that heat helped it out a lot. I soaked it with that PB blaster for a little bit, and then I heated it up. And then use a flare nut wrench. Use a flare nut wrench because if not, you're just going to end up rounding it out, and then it's going to be even. So you round that shit out, it's going to be even more of a pain in the ass. So let's see, what am I showing you here? Showing you the corrosion. It was nasty. This corrosion is, yeah, a lot of corrosion. It's common though. So I'm cleaning up the hose. I got to reuse the hose. So I'm gonna clean it off. Using some brake clean. Just gonna wire brush it. Just trying to clean it off because I'm gonna run a tap and die through it. I mean, not a tap and die, but I'm gonna bust out the tap and die set and run a die through it, through those threads, because those threads were, once it gets kind of stuck on, once it gets stuck like that, I mean, the threads are junk. Just so cleaning off the threads, there's corrosion, and, just metal flakes and all kinds of shit on the fitting. So I'm just brake clean and wire brush, just cleaning it off. When I first started this project, I thought it was gonna be like trimming tilt cylinder, like it's supposed to be easy, right? Just take the old one off, put the new one on, easy. But kind of run into problems sometimes when you deal with marine stuff, just old boats, just corrosion. Just you always kind of got expected corrosion. So I got that type and busted out the tap and die set. I got that one off Amazon, I'm pretty sure. Just you know, basic, just automotive tap and die set. So I'm putting that on the vise. I'm not going too hard, you don't want to damage the fitting if you could help it, just not too hard on the vise. Just get it on there. Then I go to the left till I kind of feel it seat. It's what an old salt dog taught me once before. Just go to the left until you'll kind of feel it just catch that first thread, and then after it catches that first thread, then you go to the right. Then I put the little tool on there, tighten it down, tighten the die down. So yeah, then I kind of go back and forth. So I just bought this camera and I was like, I'm gonna start making YouTube videos, because I work on boats, I work on engines, work on whatever, I feel like it's pretty cool, some of the shit I do. So this video is kind of sloppy, just kind So, yep, I think I ran the dye through it. Just clean up the threads. Threads are all, you know, threads are fucked. So I just cleaned up the threads. If you're gonna replace the trim and tilt, I don't know how much those hoses are. Can't remember, but might be good just to get those hoses. That way you ain't gotta do all this. But this takes a little extra time. So there I go to the left till I hear it click. Catches that first thread. Go back and forth. I'll spray some PB blaster in there or something from time to time. Just use it as some cutting fluid. If you got cutting fluid, that'd be better. But I mean, there's not that many threads on there. It's not getting super hot. I got that brake clean. Just clean off, So yeah, right there I'm using the using some pipe dope, because it's pipe thread. Like that blue monster, it's a blue monster pipe thread. If you've seen it, that's some good shit right there. I use that for a lot of stuff. It's good for hydraulics, fuel, just regular pipe fittings. But I'll use that a lot on a lot of things. It just creates a good seal. And with the threads messed up, I just thought it'd be a good idea to put some of that on there. Because some people, they don't like putting that stuff on there, especially like some boat mechs. I feel like it messes with the cathodic protection or the zincs or whatever. But I just wanted that, I just wanted it to seal. I didn't want to deal with it leaking, especially with the threads being messed up. So that's actually the new ram right there. So I'm just throwing it on the new ram. I got some grease right there, greasing up the bushings. Put the bushings on the new ram. Yep, got the hoses on the new ram. That's the new ram right there. And I mean, it's pretty easy, pretty straightforward. Put the washer and then the nut. It's a nylon nut. It's a 5/8. I'm pretty sure. Either 5/8 or 9/16. I'm using a gun, but you use a ratchet or whatever. Just use a ratchet and a wrench. And yeah, putting that anchor pin right there inside washer, inside bushing. Put it right up, line it all up. It's in the fully down position. And then I put the outside bushings in, and then the outside washers. Just one of the things I've kind of seen before is just those threads are kind of, especially like on old boats like this one. This is an old boat. It's an old boat when it has the pre-alpha. Like this Outrive is pre-alpha, so you kind of know it's old. Yeah, those threads, they go up pretty easy, so I mean, I'm using a gun. It's probably not the best idea to use a gun. It's probably better just to kind of take your time, use a wrench and a ratchet, go slow. Try not to mess up the threads. I am connecting the hoses to the new ram, the new used ram. That's just the new used one. You could rebuild those rams and stuff. I've rebuilt some before, but with the case busted like that, it's just, I don't know, I just got a new one. So for the pre-alphas, it's kind of hard to find, parts like that. So sometimes eBay is the best route to go. So right here, I'm opening up. There's a reservoir right there. So this is a Mercruiser. It's a 75, 1975. It's got the inline six. It's a freaking beast of a motor. It's fucking bulletproof. Just a lot of people like that motor. Like a lot of old salt dogs that been around boats, their whole fucking life. Like they like that motor. Like they know. The inline six Merc, like that's a badass motor. Might be hella old, but still, it's just a badass motor. There's not that many electronics on it. It's carbureted. You know, as long as that carburetor's clean and getting full fuel into the cylinder, that shit will go. It's super reliable. That's a beast of a motor. Just my personal boat. So I'm a little bit more careless when it comes to my personal shit. You know, I'm just not as clean. Not really going by the book. So that hole for the reservoir is like super small. So we kind of rigged up this hose right here. And we hooked up the hose with a reducer type thing. Hooked it up to a funnel. I know that camera angle was fucking hella weak. And then yeah, once we get it, like we were going up and down just to kind of purge the system a little bit. So in the book, it kind of says like you should go up and down a few times, and the system should kind of purge itself out. And yeah, this one, installed it, filled it up. This is the first, the first little up and down, thing that we did. And then kind of just recheck the fluid level. Right here, you kind of see the hose with the funnel setup that we had. Because yeah, the hole's freaking pretty tiny. What I kind of found out though was you could use a gear case filler. If you got one of those gear case filler tubes or the pump, you could use that too. Just use a little gear case filler pump. Thread that onto the reservoir. The threads actually match up perfectly. You screw that on, and then use that gear case pump to kind of put a ATF in there. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, not too bad. Pretty easy job, but yeah, hopefully that I don't know, helps somebody out. It's my first YouTube video. I'm gonna get better from here. I know it was pretty sloppy at times, but yeah, I just want to get one out there. So check out some of my work on Instagram. Mossy Boats at Mossy Boats, mossyboats.net, Bay Area, California.